welcome back to another episode of K-Drama Weekly.
At K-Drama Weekly, we love our K-dramas and bring you reviews and discussions of a different South Korean drama or film every week.
That's right. Each week we dive into major plot points, character development, and arcs in each film/drama. We also try and provide some cultural context to common themes using the knowledge we've gained as K-drama stands.
Yeah! I'm your host, Sandra, and as you heard, I'm joined by my co-host, Benner and Valerie.
Yeah!
This episode, we'll be discussing the 2019 drama.
2018.
Was it 2018?
Yeah.
Oh. 2018 drama, 100 Days My Prince. Dioshi! This is your one and only spoiler warning. If you haven't watched 100 Days My Prince yet, go do so now before you come back and listen to the episode. Because we'll be spoiling all major plot points.
Yeah.
Yeah! So tell us more about it, Valerie.
Okay. So 100 Days My Prince is a 2018 TVN drama. It's a saga, a historical drama.
Yeah!
The first one is a pod!
Yeah!
It's created by Studio Dragon, written by...
Studio Dragon of Psycho But It's Okay fame.
Wow. Of many dramas. It's written by Noji Sol, directed by Lee Jong-jae, and it stars Do Kyung-soo, Dio, Nam Ji-hyun, Jo Sung-ha, Jo Han-chol, Kim Son-ho, Han So-hee, and Kim Jae-young.
Yeah! Star cast.
It also got very high ratings for a cable TV drama. And when it first came out, it was the 4th highest rated drama on cable television.
Ooh.
But right now, it's gone down to 8th, which is still pretty high.
Which one displaced it?
Well, many. I believe there's that World of the Married one.
Yes.
Also Sky Castle. Itaewon Class. And Crash Landing on You.
Those are good. They're on the list.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of those.
I have not.
Oh, well then
But
You said those are
I
good.
hear they're good.
Yeah, I hear they're good
Yeah, same.
too. Anyways. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, give us a summary.
Okay. So, during a trip to a rain ritual or whatever, the Crown Prince is attacked. And he ends up losing his memory
Yeah.
and falling into a commoner village.
Yeah.
But before he what's it called? He left. He had ordered for every single man and woman in Joseon to be married by the end of the month.
So every single man and woman.
Yes. And so, because of that, the female lead is being forced to get married, but there's no one left in the village. But then that's when Dio falls into the village, and since her dad is desperate, he makes Dio think that he's this dude he used to know, Won-duk, and so they end up getting married.
Him and female lead.
Yeah, the female lead, not
him
the
and
dad.
the dad.
I mean, they could get married too. They could be secretly married for all we
That's
know.
true.
Oh man.
Hong Shim's dad does really like him.
Yep.
Exactly.
But yes, then there's all the political stuff going on with the people that tried to kill Dio.
We'll get more into that later.
Yeah.
And Dio has some good times in the village until he's dragged back into the palace, and he has to deal with all the political stuff.
Jesus. Oh my Jesus.
Wow. Yeah, that's basically it.
Tell us, before Benner gets into the plot, tell us a little bit about the main characters. You didn't really introduce them. You kind of did, but not really.
Yes. So there's Dio, obviously, or Won-duk.
Or Crown Prince
Yeah,
Yul.
Yes, the Crown Prince Yul.
Yul is a nice name.
It is.
Yes. And so yeah, he's the serious type.
Yeah,
as a
he
crown
never
prince.
wanted to be a crown prince.
He was forced into it.
Mhm.
But his what he would be like if he wasn't a crown prince comes out when he's living as one duke, since all the stress
It's
gets
gone.
taken off of him.
Yeah.
So there's him, and then the female lead, Yeon Hong Shim. She used to be a noble, but her father was framed, and then all her family was murdered, and so she's living as a commoner. And she was adopted by her current father.
Yeah.
Her current papa.
Her current papa.
Her modern day papa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of them olden day papas here.
Yeah, none of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then we have the
Second male lead.
Yeah, who is, I forget his name. Jung Jae-yoon, is that it?
Yeah, I believe
Let's just
so.
call him the magistrate.
Wow. He's played by Kim So-no, which
Yeah.
has like skyrocketed to fame following his appearance in Startup.
It started with this drama, though, I think.
Yeah, but it has since become way more pronounced.
Yes. He plays a, like, official dude. Not really sure what he was.
Well, on
he a
Netflix, they call him the governor. He was.
Oh,
He
yeah.
used to be in the police force.
Yeah.
And then he got promoted to governor.
Okay, so
He was a magistrate.
in the Wiki
Yeah.
version.
Wow.
Which is the official thing.
So
it would be
basically, it's
He's
the same thing.
A government person.
Let's call him a mayor.
Wow.
That's technically what he is.
Yeah.
Of
But
that
yes,
town.
He goes to work as a magistrate in
Wow.
the little village where Dio is now living. And he can't recognize faces. He has that thing where he can't recognize faces.
Propagnosia.
Fancy.
Face blindness.
Yeah. Which is why he doesn't recognize.
It's called. Shoot, where's the
It's right
name?
there.
Prosopagnosia.
Yes. So that's why he doesn't recognize Dio when he goes into that village.
He doesn't know he's the Crown Prince.
He does figure it out eventually.
Yes.
He does realize that his voice sounds familiar.
And his mannerisms.
Yes. And his writing.
Oh, yes, he's right.
Anyways, then we've got the crown princess who is married to Dio. She's obviously.
Yeah.
Duh.
And she's pregnant, but it's not Dio's baby.
Braggers.
She's pregnant.
She's pregnant.
I don't know. It's a meme.
Anyways, yeah. So the reason they're trying to kill Dio is to cover up her pregnancy. Not
Her
being-
bastard.
Yeah, her bastard.
Literally.
Yeah, because she's pregnant, but not by the crown prince because they've never been together. Because he's an ice princess.
Then we've got Muyon
/ Soka.
/ Oraboni.
Yeah, he's really just Oraboni.
Yeah, he's the female lead's bro.
He's an assassin.
Yeah, they got separated back
#ninja.
when their first papa was murdered.
Their real papa.
And so he's been working with the crown princess's papa, who is the left state counselor.
/ vice premier if you watched it on Netflix.
Yeah, we don't know what one's right.
What the hell is
What
a
was
vice
more
premier?
accurate. There
I
was
don't know,
that.
but it
that
sounds
is
official.
something
Just call
in
it
the
a
back
vice
then.
president.
But
He's
yeah.
the vice president.
We'll just refer to him as VP from now on. Potentially.
Valerie's giving you the stink eye.
Wow.
Anyway.
But he's the evil dude of the story that the evil papa.
Yeah.
As Valerie pointed out, he came out and saved me. He was also the evil dude in that, and I hadn't
was
realized
he?
it.
Oh
yeah,
my
and so it made it
goodness.
100 times worse.
Wow.
I was like,
although he
oh
was
my
way worse than
Jesus.
Save Me.
You're right. I
Anyways, now that we know
cannot.
all the main people, kind of, There's like
and then there's the
There's
king.
more people, but
yeah.
we'll
The
get
king.
into them as they come out. Yes,
Yeah.
the king, obviously.
He's
the king.
kind of birthed Dio.
He did birth him
No,
with
his
his own
mother
two
birthed
hands.
Jesus.
Anyways, Bender, get into the plot for us.
Okay. So yeah. So the main thing is everyone's trying to kill Dio.
Yep.
No
Poor
one
Dio.
likes him.
But everyone likes
reason.
him.
Yeah, nobody likes him, but everybody likes him.
They just don't. They just want to kill him because he happens to be the crown prince.
He's the crown
No,
prince.
no one wanted to kill him. Well, the crown not the crown. The queen wants to kill him because she wants to make her son
the queen wants to. Oh,
Dio's
yeah.
half brother.
this
The
in
crown
this
prince.
drama.
Talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus. The vice premier.
Likes Dio.
Yeah, he wanted to keep Dio there because his daughter is the crown princess anyways.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
the problem is that Dio knows that her child isn't his. So
'Cause,
that's
you
what
know,
that's
he'd be smart.
yeah, that's why he has to kill Dio now.
Yeah. I guess people back then in times didn't know how babies were born.
What?
Yeah, how babies came to be.
What do you mean?
Yeah, cause
Why?
how is that gonna be Dio's baby?
That's why she kept very aggressively trying to get with him
Yeah.
so
Poor
that
Dio.
they could cover it up. And Dio was like, "No, thank you. You
Yeah.
trash."
He was like disgusting.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
He was like, "Oh,
Oh.
Oh, yeah. No, that queen in this drama has been like the chillest queen.
yeah." Usually it's the queen that you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, definitely the queens.
It varies, I think.
Mhm.
Some queens are more involved than others.
Yeah.
But yeah, that vice premier was the one that was causing all the issues.
But he was trying to cover up his misdeeds by trying to blame it on the queen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because he
Yes.
also does not, it's not beneficial for him to have the half brother become the
Yes.
crown prince once
If you
Dio has disappeared.
Allow me to continue
I'm
my
sorry.
explanation.
So
We
you
will
didn't
get to
start
that.
at the beginning
To what?
of the plot.
What is the beginning of the plot?
The child.
Back then at times.
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
I'm getting to that. You guys keep interrupting.
Sorry.
We had things to
I
say.
know.
We did.
So yes.
So now that we've gone all over the place, let us go back to the beginning.
yes.
Time.
So this all
The
started.
Beyond mysterious.
I can't believe you.
What?
You sang
Beyond
that
the
song
mysterious
wrong.
beyond.
How is that in the beginning?
She
I
sang
don't
it.
know.
No.
I guess
Did you
they
hear
did
how
come
she
from
sang
beyond the
it?
mysterious beyond.
Did you hear how she sang it though?
I said
She
it.
said the land beyond the mysterious
Because
beyond.
I thought the land before time, but I meant to say beyond the mysterious beyond.
Oh, I can't.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Wow.
We're off
Anyways.
to a bad start today.
So, yes, this all started because. So, Dio wasn't originally the crown prince. He was just a noble. He was the, I guess, he's
His
the
pa-
nephew of
No,
the
he's-
king?
His papa was a prince.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but not the
is
crown
he-
prince.
Yeah, but it was Dio the nephew of the king then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his papa is second in line,
Well, we don't
For
know
the
what in line
throne.
he- Oh yeah, he was second in line.
Yeah.
obviously. And
Otherwise, he would have had to kill more of his brothers.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
This ain't
so
no Scarlet Heart.
Nah.
so the grand premier,
Vice premier.
vice
AKA
premier,
left
aka the left
state
state
counselor.
counselor.
I think vice premier sounds like a better title than left state counselor. Why is he left?
Because
'Cause
he's
he
on
was
the left
standing
of
on
the
the left.
king.
But what does that matter?
Because there's a right state counselor too. I'm pretty sure.
What
That
does
doesn't make
the
it
right
better.
and the left have?
He's the left-hand man, because
The
Dio's
people
the
on-
right-hand man.
Now the people on the right were the Queen's people, and
Yeah.
the people on the left were the Vice Premier's people.
Yeah,
Just
whatever.
carry on.
It
We're just
doesn't
calling
matter.
the Vice Premier from now on. So those of you
The
who watched on
LSC?
Vicky, remember that the LSC is the Vice Premier.
Yeah. The LSC is the VP.
Wow.
Anyways, so this VP man, he ain't content with just being the VP, because he wasn't the VP back then, obviously.
No, he was something else.
I don't know what the hell he was.
He was just a nobleman.
He was a nobleman, but he was out for power. 'Cause
power.
He wanted the VP.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah. And so he has been working on this plot for 10 whole years.
Which, at the beginning, that's
yeah,
when
you're
it
right.
started.
So he started this plot.
Then.
And so he basically had the king killed, and he had all the people who sided with the king killed, and of those people that were killed were Hong Shim's papa, and
And the rest of her family, basically.
yes, and the rest of her family, they became traitors,
Mm-hmm.
and so her whole family was killed, but
Except for her and her older brother.
Oroboni, because they escaped only because young Dio stepped in, and he said that he was the daughter of
The
The daughter of the prince.
Yes.
This is a whole new level of misgendering.
He was the son of the prince, and so he was like, I command you to stop. And so they just chucked him aside. They were like, silly lad.
No, they carried him over their shoulder like a
Yeah,
sack.
they did.
Yeah.
Like a sack of
Like they do
potatoes.
ladies sometimes.
Mhm.
But in that time where he stepped in, that gave enough time for Hong Shim and her Oroboni to run away.
Oraboni.
Oroboni, but they did see their papa get stabbed in the belly.
So,
Yeah.
hashtag spicy deja vu coming your way.
Mhm. You
And
know
the reason
it.
Dio was there was because he went to flirt.
Yeah, he
he
did.
did.
He's a flirt. He went to go brag about how he memorized a book.
The elementary learning.
Yeah. Because he used to be a dumb boy.
He did.
Yeah, because his papa told him not to be smart or else the king would think of him as a threat.
Yeah. And so he was a dumb boy.
Yep.
Mhm,
A Dumbo.
But
Yeah, he was a Dumbo. But
Yeah.
then he met Hong Shim,
And she
and
was like,
she
you're
put
so
a
dumb.
ribbon on his hand. She called him an idiot. And
Mhm.
I guess people like it when they're mistreated. So
well,
he
no, I
fell
think
in
like
love.
I think she was like, oh, somebody mentioned elementary learning or something, and he was like, I don't do that. I haven't read that, and she made fun of him for it.
Yeah.
She was like, I already read it, and I already know it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she's a smart girl.
Yes.
And she
And-
was young. Hong Shim was played by the actress who played
Gumbi.
Gumbi and Oh My Gumbi.
Mhm.
She's still alive, apparently.
What?
Sandra.
There's
She
a
wasn't
title.
No,
She
I
wasn't
meant she's
gonna
still
die
doing
for-
things.
Oh, okay.
Well, duh.
Because
Yeah,
she
but
wasn't in
you-
anything for a while, is what I meant. So
Sandra,
You were-
when did that Gumby drama come out?
that came out in like 2017,
This one was 2018. What do you
maybe
mean?
before that. I don't know when it came out. It could have been 2016.
Just move on. But
I hadn't seen her in anything
Yes.
since Oh My Gumbi is what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying.
hadn't seen her in anything there. Anyways. So Dio is over there flirting. But he ends up saving them. But then he is like horrified because he also watches their papa get stabbed in the belly.
Mhm.
And so then he like goes to his papa and he's like,
This man can be murdered.
yeah, and he's like, stop him. But then the dude comes to his papa and he kneels before him and he's like, it's been done.
No!
And so then
Yeah.
Dio is horrified at what his papa has done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
And this was really all the vice premiers doing because Dio's papa didn't seem like he wanted to become king.
yeah.
I think the vice premier just like told him some lies to like kind of get him excited for the throne.
Yeah. And so and then Dio's mama ends up getting killed too by the VP. So
No, she didn't get killed
she
by
did.
him.
We later find out that he did kill her. We don't know if he killed her directly, but he had to deal with
I
her
thought
death.
he asked his dad if, like, that was his doing, and the dad said that he never wanted the mom to die.
Yeah, but the
that
VP
doesn't mean
killed
the
him
VP's
anyway.
not gonna kill her.
Why would the VP kill her, though?
Because she was against him killing his brother to get the throne.
Was she?
Well, yeah.
She was apparently also related to the former king
yeah, you're
somehow.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
And the VP probably wanted the queen to be someone he could control too, because he placed the current queen on the throne.
Yeah, but that didn't go too well for him.
No, because the queen lied to her.
Oh no! The only reason why he placed that queen on the throne was because he had like read her fortune or something, and they had said that she wouldn't get pregnant,
Yeah.
and that was good for him because then there wouldn't be any other people in line for the throne, and when he gave that king the throne, Dio's papa, he told him that he would give him the throne if he allowed the VP to be Dio's father-in-law. And so since then they arranged Dio's marriage.
He was already on the throne.
Well, same thing. It happened eventually.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but the queen ended up being pregnant and she had another son, and so then that's when all the issues started with the queen.
Yeah.
Because the queen and her papa lied about her thing.
Yep.
Yes.
She be power hungry too.
Oh, the power hunger.
Everyone wants the power.
Yeah.
Power.
Where were we?
The mama got killed.
Oh yes, the mama got killed, so then Dio's just depressed.
Dio got huffy.
He got huffy and then he's been depressed.
He did some loud crying.
And then the
the
VP was like, "This, you better cry. This is the only day you have to cry and let all your tears out."
Yeah, he said that
Like a
he can't ever cry again.
Because he's the crown prince.
Yep.
Yeah. That's where the back then times story ends and the new one starts.
Yeah, and so grown
now
up
we're back
Dio.
to present time.
Yeah, he's a smart boy.
Yep.
He ain't no pony anymore.
No, he read all the books and he even knows poetry.
Yep.
Yeah.
He memorized all the things.
And he even writes poetry too.
Oh, I hate poetry.
Same.
I like poetry.
Those poems seem complicated.
They do seem complicated because they probably have that Confucius stuff in them which I do not
poems
know about.
Yeah.
Anyways, carry on.
So yeah. So he's a smart boy. By this time he doesn't he hates the crown princess obviously. And then he figures out
I don't think he hates her. I think he's just like
he hates her.
Yeah. Did he?
Yes,
When did he
because
say this?
his
oh yeah, you're right. He did say that.
Yeah.
I can't believe
because he hates the vice premier. Yep.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? What was I saying?
He hates the crown princess.
Yeah, so the crown princess just trying to get with him because she's trying to cover up her pregnancy, but it ain't working. Yeah. And then right before he goes off to his rain ritual place, he tells her, he comes into her room and he's like, "That's not my baby." And then he's like, "This is gonna be the end of you and your family." And then he storms off.
Yep.
But before he goes to the rain ritual, everyone's been telling him he has to what's he called? Consummate? Consummate?
No, he has
whatever.
To, what do you call it? I forgot the word for it.
What?
Hold on.
What are you trying to say?
No, not conjugate.
Conjugate? That's what you do with verbs.
Yes,
I know. I was like, wait, no.
Consummate the marriage?
No.
Is that what you're trying to say?
No, it was a different word.
No.
It's not a different word. It's consummate. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well.
His marriage, because he never did that, and that's why it hasn't rained.
Yes.
There's a doubt.
Yeah. there's a drought, and they're blaming it on Dio not consummating his marriage, and so that's why he makes that law where all the single people got to get married too.
Yeah.
And so then he's gonna like go and do like a little rain ritual too.
Yeah. Well, his dad is supposed to go, but the vice premier convinces the dad that Dio has to go so that he can then kill Dio, because now the vice premier also did not know that the princess was pregnant. And so when Dio found out, she had to tell the vice premier, because now she's like, what do I do? So she was like, yeah, it's not his. And so that's when they plot to kill him.
Yeah, she got some arsenic and everything.
Yeah, they were feeding him arsenic. Poor Dio.
Yeah. No, she got it just in case.
No, they were feeding him medicine. They were giving him
There was nothing wrong with the medicine though.
It was just an allergy that he
had.
has.
No, the medicine mixed with some other food was what was causing the problems.
Yeah.
That's
it was
why
giving him like an allergic reaction.
Yeah, the physician had made a list of food he wasn't allowed to eat when he was drinking the medicine.
Yeah. And then the princess had
the queen.
The queen. Oh yeah, the queen's also trying to get rid of him. I forgot.
Yep. Because she wants her baby to be on the throne as Crown Prince.
And that prince is like, leave me alone. I'm just trying to have like a crush on the princess from afar.
Yeah. That's literally what he was trying to do the entire time.
That's great. Usually the other princes would be like, yeah, power.
Yep.
Power.
I can't.
Anyway,
that prince was cool though.
He was, except he wasn't like
he didn't really do much.
Yeah, he wasn't being very proactive about trying to avoid things. He was just like, no, don't do it. Please don't do. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So then Dio goes off, and then he gets ambushed. Was it just him and his little guard?
No, it was all his people.
Yeah.
A bunch of assassins. They get rid of, like, they kill him. And then it's just Dio and his bro guard. And
who was his child?
To not be confused with Guardfly.
Yeah. No. He was his childhood friend. They used to practice as children and stuff. Oh, it was all of his entourage except for his main eunuch who got sick and was told to stay behind.
How you pronounce it?
Yeah, eunuch.
Yeah, that's how I pronounce it too, Belly. How are you pronouncing it?
Yeah. You don't need to know.
Are you pronouncing it eunuch?
No.
Or
eunuch?
Wow, no.
I can't. Anyways, so yeah, they all get killed. And then it's just Dio and his guard dude. His guard bro. And then his guard bro's like,
we gotta switch.
Yeah, but we don't...
Parent Trap style.
Yeah, but...
Oh, wait.
We don't know that until way later, but they end up switching their little gowns. Yeah. And so then the guard...
Dio's wearing the fancy Crown
Yeah, he's
Prince
wearing...
clothes.
And so the guard dude ends up getting killed, and the assassins assume that it's Dio that they killed.
Idiots.
And so they leave.
Noobs.
Oh, also Muyon, the Oraboni is one of those guards.
Yes.
He's the main one.
Yeah, he's the main assassin.
And he has two bros that are like his
left
twos.
and right hands.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And so they go back, and then Dio doesn't show up, and then people start freaking out. The king is upsetty, and then so
Dio also got hit by an arrow.
Yes, he did get hit by an arrow.
He got hit in the cabecita. He rolled down a hill and hit his head on a rock.
Yeah, he did. But they think it's the guard, and they're like, oh, well, we got the prince, so it's whatever.
Yeah, they didn't really pay too much attention to him.
Because the guard who was dressed as Dio fell into the river.
Yeah. So they weren't about to go all the way down there.
Which, if you think about it, like, they weren't thorough enough. So they were slacking, and that's why all of these things happened.
Hey,
if they weren't thorough, they would have, gotten him.
They were all dressed in black, Sandra. It was probably hot.
Yeah.
Wow. No, it wasn't. It was like a March.
It's a drought.
It is a drought.
But Dio said that, no, not Dio, the Sono character later says that he couldn't find March's diary when they were looking for it.
Huh?
The diary for March.
What diary?
Yeah.
Dio's diary. They're looking for his diary, for one of his diaries. And they're looking for the one for the month of March. So, by that logic, you're to assume that this happened in March. Or end of March, beginning of April.
Yeah, so then Dio doesn't show up, and then the king starts freaking out, and then he knows that the VP probably had to do with something with it.
One of the people that was with Dio wasn't killed properly, so he goes back and he tells the king that they were attacked.
Yeah, but then he mysteriously dies.
Yes. And they also tried to kill Dio's eunuch. Yeah, they try to kill him. They slice his neck.
This is after they've recovered the guard's body, and the vice premier knows it's not Dio.
Yeah, because he was the only one that supposedly checked his body, and he realized it wasn't him. But then he just
he
said it anyways that it was Dio.
It had been in the water, so the corpse was bloated anyway. So he used that to his advantage because it would be hard to identify it.
Yeah,
and he did not know that eunuch Young was still living.
Yeah,
and
but the eunuch went and checked the body.
Yeah, and he saw the nails.
He noticed that the nails were different.
Which
he had like cut them or something.
Yeah. He had.
I think he had nipped one of them or something.
Yeah,
he had cut one of his fingers too short.
Yeah. And so he knows that it's not Dio, and so I think he was gonna tell somebody.
He was gonna tell someone, yeah.
Yeah, and that's when his neck got sliced. Neck slice.
Well, he wanted to speak to the vice premier or to the king, but
he told the VP.
Yeah.
No, you see what happened was the VP had him locked up because.
Oh, he got him locked up for
to make
something.
It seem like
he had done something wrong. I forget
like
what it was.
No, it was.
No,
accused him.
He
of.
was suspecting him.
Oh yeah, because
he hadn't gone with
yeah.
And so then the VP went and he was like, he told him that he would let him live if when he was interrogated, he answered the queen for everything he was asked.
Yeah.
And he went with it.
Yeah, but then
he told him that what he wanted to say was that thing about the nails, which the VP didn't know.
And then the VP was like, well, dang it, can't keep him around now.
Yeah, and he's like,
sliced his
yeah,
neck.
he was like, I didn't want to kill anyone else. And he slices his neck.
Yep.
Neck slice.
And then everyone thinks he's dead.
Yep.
Including the audience. But we see that the Sono character fished him out of his
death
wagon and took him to the old physician.
To the old man doctor.
Yeah, so he doesn't end up dying.
No.
He comes in handy later on.
Yep.
Well, we're not there yet.
We'll get to that later.
Carry on, Ben.
And so yeah, then Dio, he got fished out, and he got nursed back to health by Hong Shim's papa.
Her current papa.
Yes, her current papa. And so he doesn't really know who he is, but there was that whole thing. Hong Shim is really old for a maiden.
She's 28.
Yeah, she's 28. And she still hasn't gotten married. So, and they told him that anybody who didn't get married would be punished. They'd get slapped on the butt.
100 times.
100
times. With a stick.
And they'd be rolled up in a little carpet too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sono's character's name is Jae-yoon. Jong Jae-yoon.
That's what I said.
You weren't sure about it though.
I didn't know who you guys were talking about when you said Sono.
Wow.
So yeah. So then he nurses Dio back to health, and then he makes him his son-in-law. And so Dio at first was refusing, but then they convinced him that he beforehand had proposed to Hong Shim, but then had gone to the military. And so once he had gotten back that he was gonna marry her.
Mm-hmm.
And so he ends up marrying her, and he becomes Wondogi.
Yeah.
Wondogi.
Even though he doesn't feel like that's his name.
Yeah.
And he's still walking around like he's not like he's a nobleman or something.
He is. Always being like, am I the only one who's uncomfortable?
Because
Which
that's
is
what
great.
he would say as a prince whenever somebody did something offensive to him.
Yeah. Yeah, and so he's going around going, oh, it's great.
Oh.
It's great.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And
So
yeah.
basically, Dio is playing himself.
Yeah.
Except Dio in real life is shyer and cuter.
That's true. He is.
That's great. But yeah,
Not as
so
serious.
they get married and it rains. Well, it rains when he kisses her.
No, clouds are coming in.
And they're coming
then they
in, and they're
Yeah.
coming in.
They're just teasing.
Yep. And then Jae-yoon is like, these idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, yep, I knew it was gonna rain today.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he comes like later.
Mm-hmm. Until then, Dio's living his best life being Wondogi. He ends up like falling in love with Hong Shim.
Hong Shim.
Hong Shim. Yeah. And then he doesn't know who she is. He doesn't realize that it's his young childhood love.
Yeah. What was her name? Young-so?
Yeah, Yoon So.
Yoon
So.
That's a hard name to
It
say.
is.
Iso.
Yoon So.
It's Iso.
Iso.
Not Yiso. Iso.
There's a
Yeah,
Y.
Sandra.
When-
Esau.
When there's a Y, if it's romanized as a Y,
Is it just the
it's
E? Oh, okay. Yoniso. Yeah.
Yoon.
Yuniso. Yes. So yeah, he doesn't know that's her because she be hiding.
And because he have no memory.
Mm-hmm. And then he's like tries to recover his memory.
But it ain't working.
But yeah, it's not working. He does go to where like the little palace city where it is.
Yeah,
Hanyang.
Hanyang.
Yeah, he goes there and he like starts. He also gets a couple of arrows thrown near him, and he like starts getting spicy deja vu.
I think the arrows are what keeps triggering his
Yeah.
memories.
Yeah. He keeps getting the memories of arrows like coming at him, and then eventually he gets the one where like the what was it? The female physician got in the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he goes there to try to like recover his memory, but it doesn't really do much. He like walks right past the VP and everything, and it's super dramatic, but nothing
Yeah.
happens.
'Cause
Then
the
he returns.
VP doesn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
Then he returns, and Hong Shim was worried that he wouldn't come back.
But he does try to talk to the like head guard dude, which
Oh
is,
yes.
Well,
If
he's
he-
not the head guard. Cause
He's
there
not
was
the
someone
head-
else who was reported.
who is he then?
I think he's like a higher. Maybe he is. And the other dude that he was talking to was the Minister of War. I think.
No,
that's
the
what
Minister
happened.
of War is the one that's always with the VP.
Yeah, but when they were looking in the mountains, that dude wanted to go look down in the city too, and he would have found Dio, but the Minister of War was there, I think, and he said they needed to keep searching in the mountains.
Well, whoever he was, a high-ranking guard, he who was buddies with the Crown Prince Dio. Dio wanted to speak to him because he recognized him, I think, as he saw him walking by, but he wasn't able to talk to him.
Yeah.
And if he had been able to talk to him, then that guy would have recognized him right away.
Yep. Unlike freaking what's his face?
Jae-yoon.
Jae-yoon,
The
who can't
magistrate.
recognize face. He had to get a gisang to draw his face
Yeah.
and then take it all the way to Hanyang to
To
that
ask
guard dude
someone.
to ask if he recognized him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't.
And then he like was slacking, and by then the vice premier had found out that Dio was still alive without his memories, and the vice premier beat him there.
And the only reason why they there was rumors going around that Dio that they had seen the vice president.
The vice president? What?
The crown prince was because I was trying to remember when I was saying my sentence. I was trying to remember who it was that had seen him.
It was
But I
the
couldn't
vice
remember.
premier's
He was the vice premier's son.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he
he
saw him.
had seen him, and then he was like, "What?" And so then he's
Because he's dressed
obviously
as a
kind
commoner.
of he's kind of useless. The VP's son.
Yeah.
And so he's so he starts a rumor, and then it's going around with all the little palace maids, and then the VP gets huffy.
Gets very huffy
Yeah.
because they're like, we found out who started the rumor.
And so he calls in
His honor.
He calls in the main assassin, and he's like, "I thought you had killed him."
What are you talking about? Main assassin Hyun's been laying dead for episodes.
Yeah, he has.
Oh,
He talks to his right and left hand,
Oh,
and
yes.
the left hand like can't handle it, and he comes clean, and he's like,
But
yeah, we.
No.
No.
Before that, the reason why the Oraboni is laying there dead is because the crown princess had
an
her
arrow
baby
through in
daddy.
through
Wow,
him.
you're missing stuff.
What am I
So
missing?
he, Oraboni finds
Hong
Hong
Shim
Shim.
by accident.
Yes.
when he's looking for Dio in the village.
Trying to assassinate
Then he
him.
realizes they're married, and he's like, "Pooh!" And then he's like, "Can't kill him now." So he
Yeah.
brings back I don't know what. Poor sir lost his hand, but he brings back a hand, and it's like, "This is Dio." I couldn't.
You know,
bring
it-
him to the game.
It was probably the dude that made the arrows that he killed at the
Probably,
beginning.
yeah.
Because Dio, before he's like murdered, is trying to find out
Who tried to kill
who
him?
tried to poison him,
Mhm.
and then who killed that
physician
nurse.
lady.
Mhm. He has a whole ass banquet and everything.
Yeah, just for that. And he's like inspecting arrows. And so he's on the trail of the arrows. And that's why they kill the dude that was making the arrows.
Yes.
Mhm.
But
So
he
they
does
probably used his hand.
he does figure out that it was the VP who was trying to kill him, and so then he hates the VP even more.
Yep.
But anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
he brings that hand back. Oraboni brings the hand back to the VP, and the VP's like, "How can I trust this is his hand?" And he's like, "I couldn't bring the whole body in. Do you want me to take you to the mountain?" And he's like, "Nah."
He's like, "I don't got time for that."
Yeah. So then
He was like, wow, okay.
Then he's like letting him go because the promise was that he would kill Dio, and then he and his left and right hands could go
leave.
free.
Yeah, and so then he was gonna go and take his Hong Shim away, and they were
His
gonna
Hong Shim.
yeah, I was gonna say his sister, but then I ended up saying Hong Shim instead.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they were gonna run off together.
And
But-
Hong Shim is like
No.
already, she's like
Yeah.
What?
the
Hold on, we missed
I
this
wasn't
part.
done.
I'm sorry, go on.
But no, but before he can
This-
go back, he goes to see the
This
crown
was
princess.
her like being already and stuff was before he
No?
went back. Yeah, it was.
Was it?
No.
Yes,
No.
it was.
Oh, yes, it was.
because
he told
her
Hong Shim that
Yeah.
she needs to
Yeah.
leave one
Okay,
duke
yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh no, the day I've been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
So she's all ready with her dad, and then Oraboni leaves her like the brides of the rancho,
Yeah.
vestida y alborotada.
Okay. So yeah. And so he goes
She's all
back.
ready to go, but he never comes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we gotta go back.
I know this episode.
So there was just so much that
There
happened
was a lot
plot
that
wise.
happened.
Okay,
Did-
carry on.
So he meets Hong Shim, and she's all like, "Why didn't you come?
But he
I've
can't
been
tell
waiting
her.
for you." Yeah, he can't tell her because he's embarrassed that he's an assassin. But then he tells her,
I mean,
he's like,
not really. He just thinks that she's gonna hate him.
yeah, he's embarrassed.
Carry on.
He's proud of his murders.
So he tells her that he needs to complete something, that he has something to do. He needs a little more time.
Yeah,
And then
By little, he means 10 days.
yeah.
Not 10
No,
days.
that's
He comes
later.
back later and tells her that.
He tells her that she needs to wait a little longer when she sees him at the market.
Yes, and when she
Yeah.
sees him at the market, that's when he
We're
says.
talking about when she's vestida and alborotada.
Yeah, but she didn't pack up to leave yet. Is
That
what
was
I'm
later.
saying.
What?
That's why I went back. And so
Well,
he tells
but
her
it
that she
doesn't
needs a
matter.
little more time. And then he goes back. And all of this happens with the VP.
Yes.
And then the freaking crown princess.
And then
has him shot.
as he's leaving, when he's told he can leave, that's when the princess has him shot for whatever reason.
I think it
Didn't
was
want
because
him
he
to
didn't
leave.
want him to leave.
Yeah.
She's so
So
stupid.
he gets
Yeah.
shot by Bom. Bom is his left.
Yeah.
his
And
left hand.
that dude can't handle the guilt of having his young name shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
so
he confesses to the VP.
that he shot him.
And then he gets locked up because of that.
And then he spills everything
spilled
about the
beans
deal.
about the deal, yeah.
Yup, which is useless. Now,
And
my
then he
question
gets
is,
murdered.
Yeah.
why didn't oh well, I guess it's because the VP would have gotten upset. I was gonna say the princess could have just ran away with Oraboni forever ago.
That's true.
What do you mean?
When she first found out she was pregnant.
Yeah. She could have.
You're right, she could have.
And then we could have avoided this whole thing.
Right? Because this
Well-
whole thing is because of the Oraboni
Yup.
and the princess getting pregnant.
Yeah. Because they couldn't keep it in their pants.
I guess nope. I guess they were too dumb. They don't got that Leo
That Leo?
that Dio type learning.
Leo would cause more not keeping it in your pants.
You right.
Jesus.
You right.
We're referring to Leo from Vix here. For those of you that don't know.
Anyways, so yeah.
Carry on.
So after so the Hong Shim asks Wondoki if he would be willing to run away with her and her Oroboni and her papa, and he agrees because at this point he likes her and he doesn't really want to remember his memories because he got this lady scared him, this old lady.
Old lady shaman.
Yeah, she scared him.
A
Shaman. I
Which-
can't with you.
I mean, what kind of a shaman just hangs around sitting like on the floor
A
randomly?
commoner one.
Yeah, doll syndrome.
Wow.
And so
I guess.
she spooks him, and so he doesn't want to remember his memories really, and so he agrees to go with her, and then they're like gonna pack and stuff. They're packing up their stuff.
And now they're vestidas and alborotadas.
Yeah, and they're waiting because it's the day
All
of the
three of
Oroboni.
them.
Yeah. And he still hasn't arrived like in the morning, but then the papa's like, hey, don't be worried, it's okay. He's probably on his way or something. And that same day is the day that they're having like some festival
The circus comes in.
because of a festival.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so then the papa's like, why don't you go like to the village downtown to like go see the circus or whatever, but the girl's like, I'm not in the mood, and then Dio's like, that's unfortunate, I guess I won't get to see it.
Yeah, until she agrees.
And so then they
grudgingly.
go, and then he sees like the magic show. But this dude isn't a part-time musician. He's just a magician.
Just a full-time magician.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so,
And Dio's like, Psh, I can see what the tricks that they're doing are here.
mhm. And so yeah, then he like confesses his love basically to her, gets her some flowers because he didn't like that the magician got her a rose and she was so happy about it.
Yep.
So he throws the rose on the ground, the rose on the ground.
Yep.
And then he looks up to look at the fireworks, and she gets kidnapped by the Oroboni, who at this point has gone to go get Hong Shim because the VP at this point had gotten ambushed by the assassins that the king had sent because he's tired of being bitched around and
By
being
the freaking
treated by a little bitch. And so he tries to get him killed because the VP is refusing to let the other prince be given
Crowned.
the title of Crown Prince. And so he gets ambushed and he gets hurt, but he doesn't die.
Right.
And,
Because apparently, even though he's old, he's a really good swordsman.
Yeah, which I was like, what the hell? But
I mean, okay.
But yeah,
Because he's old. Like
Yeah.
he might have arthritis.
yeah. What
They
if he
don't
got
have arthritis in
arthritis?
Joseon?
You don't know.
Wow.
Right?
I'm
they
sure they
probably don't
did.
know what it is.
I'm sure they had it, but they didn't know what it was.
Oh wait, you're right. Freaking Jaeyoon had arthritis.
Wow.
He said that his back hurted whenever it rained.
Yeah.
I told you. Wow.
Anyways, so yeah, he's
He just doesn't have arthritis, seeing bro.
Wow.
So the VP, he gets there.
How dare he be such a good swordsman?
Right. And then he surrounds Dio. And before this, Dio like turns around and Hong Shim's gone and he's freaking out. And then the assassins come and they surround him with their little swords and they point them at him and he's like, oh! He's like, oh! And then the VP's like, do you recognize me? And he's like, no, I don't. He's like, get out of my way. And then he's like, I can't. And he's like, show some respect to the Crown Prince. And then I was like, oh!
Yeah, so basically the only reason why the VP brings Dio back is because he's lost the trust of the king.
And so in order
Because
to
the
stop...
king's about to crown
Yeah.
the other prince, Crown Prince.
Yeah,
And
because
if he
they
were to do that, then the VP wouldn't be able to like be in power.
Yeah, because originally the king was gonna wait until the princess gave birth, and if it was a boy, then the baby would be the crown prince. And if it was a girl, they would crown the Dio's stepbrother as crown prince or half brother's crown prince. But the king was like, nah, I do what I want.
And I think they also found out that the
VP was doing shady
no, that the baby wasn't Dio's.
They never found out.
I mean, the
Did
queen and her people knew, but the king didn't find out until
The
Dio
end.
told her.
true,
Told
that's
him
true.
at the end.
Yeah.
So Dio
And
gets
everyone's keeping the king out of wraps.
Yep.
Dio gets dragged back to the palace.
Yep, so that, now the VP can keep his power, even though Dio still doesn't remember anything.
Yeah, he doesn't remember anything, but basically the VP tells Dio that he has to watch out for the queen because the queen has been trying to kill him so that her son can be the crown prince. And then he's like, you can't trust anyone in the palace, only me.
Yep. Yeah, but Dio's suspicious.
Well, he's
smart.
not suspicious.
He gets suspicious
he
after a
just starts
while.
getting suspicious because he starts like getting his memories back. And also the magistrate comes to him and he's like, you left me this riddle. He's like, I don't know what it means.
Yes. Because
so
this whole time that everything else has been happening, he's been trying to figure out this riddle, and he is like, actually be the only one that's smart. He's been playing the VP.
yes,
Dio?
the magistrate.
Jaeyoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's been
He's
pretending
like-
to be loyal to him, but really he's been trying to figure out what he's up to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to be on Dio's side.
Mhm.
He
And
did,
he
yeah.
also knew before everybody else that Dio was still alive because he got a note from Dio with that riddle. But he just he couldn't recognize Dio because
No,
Okay,
he
so
didn't
they
know
know
he was
Dio
alive
was
because of
alive.
the note.
eventually he knows.
He found out because he recognized the handwriting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because Wondoki is the only one in the town that can write besides Yongshin.
Yes.
Hong Shim.
Hong
Hong
Shim.
Shim.
Oh my Jesus, you right. Hong Shim.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, yeah. So then they get together and they're trying to figure out that riddle that Dio left. And then
Dio promotes him to
be in
a
charge of the
position.
riddle library.
Yeah. Which is suspicious
library.
to the VP, but
He
Jaeyoon
allows plays
convinces him.
wiggles his way in.
Mhm.
Yep.
He was testing him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he ends up letting him be his librarian. And then they figure out that they're trying to find Dio's journal.
Yeah, which is called Silence.
Yes. And so they
Because it
figure
has
out
P-meals in it.
yeah, the riddle is the journal has all the secrets in it. And then the riddle is if they crack it, it'll tell them where the journal is hidden.
How did they crack it? I forget.
It was the doorways. It had to do with the doorways.
Was
Yeah.
it just the like symbols
the amount of whatever.
in the symbols?
I
There
don't
was
even- I
4
don't know what
doorways,
happened,
and then
no.
there's like the amount of strokes or something in the Chinese character. I don't know. I got confused in that part.
First they said there were 5, so they
it
were
was
going
also the
through 5
meaning-
doorways.
Yeah, and it was also they also had to connect it with the meaning of the actual character.
Well, no, the meaning of the character on the envelope that it came in,
Yes,
which I forget what that
No,
character.
it was-
I think it was
was-
like lag or something.
Wow, it was the character of the actual riddle, and then the name of the journal, and then I think something else, but I don't remember. But they ended up with 6 characters, or 6 whatever, so 6 doorways. But then when you took something else into consideration, you take off 2.
No, you took off 1,
You took
and
off
then
1.
then they changed the meaning of it to something else, and then it
Mm.
was only 4.
Yeah, so it was
yeah.
a whole
It
a
was
whole ass
complicated.
thing.
I don't
Yeah.
remember, but they
Yeah.
ended up somewhere.
It was a whole thing.
And they found it.
They found his journal, and then the librarian had his whole library burned, which terrible
Well,
because all those books. But he
because-
only did that so that the VP could be convinced that the journal was gone,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't.
Yep.
But at one point, I thought that the magistrate was gonna betray Dio.
Wow, no.
Nope.
He's a loyal bro, man.
He's loyal to the oil.
I can't believe you. But no, he
He's a
was
loyal
like, he was
bro.
considering it though, because he was like, loyalty or love. And I was like, oh no, he better
yeah, that's
not.
true because
That was like-
he's the second lead, and he also likes
and
Yongshin.
he liked Hong
Oh,
Shim.
Hong
Hong
Shim. Hong Shim.
You
not
said Yongshim? What
What the heck is Yeonshim?
No, Sandra
I
said
mixed up with
Yongshim,
Healer.
and then I said Hong Shim, but then I was like,
Healer.
wait.
Oh yeah,
Hong
Yongshin. Yongshin from Healer.
Yeah.
I knew I heard that name before.
Mm.
It's Hong Shim.
Hong
Yeah.
Shim.
Yeah,
Shim.
So
Jesus. It's because her last name is Yeon. It's Yeon Hong Shim.
Yeah.
So yeah, they figure out Dio reads the journal, then he gets all his memories back. Then he goes to the king and he's like, give me full power!
Murder.
And then the king's like, what? And then because the king doesn't know what
the king's like, what?
yeah, because he doesn't know what the hell's going on. So then he tells him, it's the VP.
left state counselor.
Yeah, and so then he's like, what should we do about it? And then Dio's like, leave it to me. I got a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He hatched a plan.
He did hatch a plan. And the entire time the VP has been getting ready for war, to start a war. It's a whole thing. So that
for
he...
what?
To start a war so that he can send the Crown Prince, which would be Dio, so he can send him to the front line so that he can kill him.
No, but also, so the war was a collaboration with Ming, so with China, with the Ming, against the Jurchens.
Yes.
Who is that?
Who I have no idea.
It's the same people they were fighting in Along with the Gods. Like the girl, and it was a church.
Oh, so
I don't know what
see.
they are. I
Oh,
think
okay.
they might be from Mongolia.
But
I don't
the
know.
Mongols. That would make sense.
Yeah.
But so the VP, he made an agreement with that Ming dude, the Chinese dude that came to talk with Dio. He said that they would supply them with weapons if they started a war with the Jurchens.
I figured it out.
Is it
They're
from
in the
Mongol?
northeastern part of China.
Oh.
The Jurchen are descendants of both the nomadic Tungus Mongol and some other people. And then there's Manchuria.
And Northern Korea.
I don't know. But so yeah, using the mines that they had for some reason, they were gonna make make weapons for the Chinese.
Yes.
So that they could fight in the war. So then the VP would be getting a whole bunch of money.
Yes.
And then, but the Jerkins were like, these are
Jurchen, not
Jurchens.
This ain't no jerky.
Yeah,
Well,
sometimes, Sandra.
sometimes you would pronounce it's a hard C. Wow. So the
Anyways.
Jurchens were like, these are Joseon arrows. These aren't Ming arrows. What is
Yeah.
going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
then-
so they talked to Dio and Dio's people. And then like he confronts the VP and then he dies
Dio?
and that's it. Yeah, Dio goes and confronts the
he
VP.
goes and he's like, "Don't you think I know the war wasn't your doing?" And then he's like,
Was your doing?
"Was your doing?" Yeah. And then the VP's like, "I got Hong Shim." Which I
don't think he ever had
No,
Thunder
she
and,
didn't. That was all
yeah.
bluffing.
What
Which-
did
I
she
don't know
go
how-
into his house for?
She was gonna kill him.
Yeah, but he wasn't
Was he
there.
already gone?
Yeah.
That was when he went to retrieve the crown princess because she was trying to run away
Oh,
with
yes.
Orabuni.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
forgot
yeah,
about that.
Oh yeah. So Dio, if we rewind a bit.
Yeah.
Forget
okay.
everything that happened.
Wow.
So once Dio gains his memories and realizes that baby isn't his, he's like,
Baby.
it's got to go. And so he goes to the crown princess and he's like,
I ain't
Sli-
gonna be no cuckold.
yeah, he's like, you get out of here. He tells them, he's like, have the crown princess taken away and murdered.
Yep.
And so she gets taken to the freaking forest
In
her
the dark
little
of the night.
in the dark of the night.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ooh, wow.
Yeah, in her little carriage, and then they leave it there. And
Yeah. no
Pangolin.
carriage?
It's a pangolin.
it's her little carriage. Pangolin.
Carriages have wheels.
Yeah.
That has humans.
You know what? The humans are the wheels, okay?
Get it together.
Are they carriages then?
Wow.
It's a carriage.
Isn't that
Oh, it's not a pangolin. That's an animal.
yes, Sandra. I was like, what?
I
It
go.
does start with
Oh,
a P
it
though.
does.
Look it up.
Palanquin. That's what it's called.
Palanquin, Jesus.
Not a
Yeah.
whatever I said
Palanquin.
before.
Yeah, only noble woman rode in them.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Anyways.
she gets taken in her little pelican, and palanquin, and then she just gets teed out of there in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, and
But it's okay.
the main guard dude, he pretends to slice her.
Yeah.
But he slices nothing.
Yep, and
And then very loudly exclaims to nobody,
that she
the
is
queen
dead.
has been killed.
The princess.
Yeah. The crown
Oh,
princess
yeah.
has been murdered.
And that's it, for in case someone's eavesdropping.
Yeah, and then
I mean, they would have seen.
then
What if
Oraboni.
they're blind?
Wow, I can't. Oraboni comes and gets her, and
Yeah.
they very slowly try to run away.
Yeah, so
Oh,
slow.
God, if they were gonna.
I get that
know.
that she's pregnant, but he literally could have gotten put her on a wheelbarrow and taken her.
Yeah.
Or maybe Dio should have dropped them off at a ship.
Yeah,
Or
They-
maybe
they
told them
didn't
to
plan
go a
this.
little further.
they just didn't plan it very
They
well.
didn't. They
Yeah.
didn't. So
They
Oraboni
didn't
comes
even
out.
try to disguise her. She's wearing her like royal gown.
Yeah, she is. They attempt to run away. It doesn't work. The papa catches up to them, the VP.
Yeah.
He has Oraboni killed.
Oraboni tries to fight them off, but
he like kills like a couple, 10 of them or something.
Then he got shot.
He gets
by
shot many times.
arrows.
First in the pata.
Yeah.
It was in the chest. What do you mean in the
Yeah, it
pata?
was. What?
No, first he gets shot in the
Oh,
leg.
no, he gets, sliced in the leg.
Oh, he gets sliced by who?
By one of those swordsmen he's fighting.
He gets sliced in the chest.
He gets shot in the chest.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. He gets sliced in the chest. He gets hit in the arrow on the pata. And then
Wow.
all
No,
the
he
other
does
arrows,
not.
I can show
I
you.
literally just watched
She
it.
did just watch it.
Oh.
Regardless,
He gets sliced
he gets a
and
bunch of
shot in the
arrows
neck.
to the chest.
Yes, we don't need to
and
see it.
then the vice premier comes over and stabs him in the chest as
Yes,
well. Just
right in front of
to
the
make sure
Crown
that he's
Princess.
actually dead this
You're
time.
right.
Because he's come back to
What
life
was
many
that?
much times.
Big respect. Big respect.
Yep.
I got shot stabbed.
The Crown Princess is not having it.
No,
She's
like,
very
"I hate
distraught, very distraught indeed.
Mhm.
She is returned back to the palace.
Yep. And she agrees to help Dio, I guess.
Mhm.
But we never see
Be a
that. 'cause
witness.
Then there's stuff that goes
Yeah,
on. The
yeah.
VP dies.
When Dio finds out she's there, he's like, "What?" He's like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
I didn't want that bastard
Yeah.
here.
He's like,
Oh,
"You
but
idiots."
before he also tried to get Oraboni to be his witness, but he didn't know that Oraboni's the baby daddy, so he's
Yeah.
like, "You idiot! No, you can't! You're useless to me!"
Mhm,
and so
mhm.
that's when he had to get rid of the princess.
Yeah.
His-
Which I mean,
Yeah.
they could have just lied.
They could've-
His
yeah.
revenge isn't going the way. he
Anyways, back
Nope.
at the front
Freaking
of the
Oraboni.
war.
Yep.
Yeah, so Dio goes there, and the freaking VP
set up a
tries to set up a trap, but it doesn't work. He tells Dio to come alone, and then he has a bunch of assassins surround him, and then Dio's like, "Huh, you
Oh.
fool!"
But Dio brings his own entourage.
Mhm.
He got them arrow people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Until then, most of the assassins get killed, and then the ones that are left, he's like, "Put down your swords unless you want to die."
And they're like, "All right."
And so he puts down the swords, and then the VP's like, "Oh my gosh, you're embarrassing me!"
So he grabs the sword himself.
Yeah.
And then they have some fighting.
Yeah, and then
Sword.
Dio does some slicing. This time he doesn't get him. He goes,
Slices like the pata and the arm
Yeah.
and the chest.
But the VP's like, "No, you gotta kill me because I won't live in shame."
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so he like pretends to come at Dio, and so
with
he,
a tiny dagger.
so he gets hit with a bunch of arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really just a
and then he
paper.
dies. He dies in Dio's arms.
Yep.
And that paper was the paper that the VP stole from the president. Stole from the king.
It's
after
the modern
he-
times.
Yeah, he stole from the king. It was a paper with the
No,
king's seal
No,
on
it's
it.
not. No,
What?
he had that sent to the king like while this is happening.
Then what was that
No.
That
no.
paper's something else.
No. So back when so everyone was pressuring the king to have the queen and her son, Dio's half brother, kicked out because they were suspected for being behind Dio's murder, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's when he tries to assassinate
And so-
the VP.
No, yeah, everyone wanted him to kick him out, and he's like, I can't throw them away not after Dio's mama and Dio. And so then he was like, you need to stop to the VP, and the VP's like, I'll stop if you stamp this document.
It's
Yeah.
just a
Stamp.
blank
It was
paper.
just a blank one.
He got a
He
blank
was
check
like, and I'll
right
fill it
there.
out with it whenever I want.
And so the king did it because I guess,
He needs
you know.
to save the queen. and
well,
the
yeah,
prince.
but he's literally the king
Yeah,
though.
he
He can do
could-
whatever
yeah.
he wants, but he like keeps on like
I mean,
being swayed by
Yeah, but the
everybody.
he could
VP
do
has,
it. He
like-
technically couldn't because the VP was the one that had all the power.
Yeah, he had the
Like
minister.
he had the minister of war on his side, and he
Yeah.
had all these other ministers,
That's
and all the
true.
noblemen, the governors of the little
But
places.
like, was the VP gonna like try to overthrow the king? Like, if he wanted to do that, he would have already done it.
Yeah. I don't think he wanted to overthrow.
So I think the king could have like exerted more power than he did.
The king was just going over drew the classic king insanity that happens in every drama.
Except he wasn't going insane. He was just like
sitting there in his
being paranoid.
Yeah, just sitting there.
The king insanity slash paranoia.
He's just like he was having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, he was having a mental breakdown. But yeah, so poor Dio doesn't get to have his revenge, which was fabulous. It was gonna be fabulous, and I was so upset.
But the king got the paper filled out.
Well, the VP filled out the paper.
Yeah, and it was taken to the king, and it said to pardon his children.
Which I mean, the king could have just like burnt.
Yeah.
That paper. I don't know why he was so like, ooh.
Yeah.
And also, they made it seem like Dio sent that to him, or Dio like it was from Dio.
Did.
Yeah,
that's the paper that the VP gave to him.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it looked all fancy when they presented it to the king.
Yeah, they're not gonna present it to the king. Looking
crumpled up in a ball.
Wow, I can't. Anyways.
So so the VP dies. Thank God. And then
he shouldn't have died.
No, he shouldn't have. I was so upset. I wanted to see him pour.
Same.
It sounded like he had been
poor before.
Yeah.
Because he told the princess that she was a brat for trying to have love.
Mm-hmm.
Because she didn't know what it was like to not have food and to have to eat rotting food or to have to eat a rat. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, dude, whoa.
Yeah, he seems a little bitter there.
Yeah, but he's already VP though. She had a good point. It's like, what more do you want?
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Like,
and
nobody's gonna
he was controlling the king too.
Yeah, nobody's gonna like try and take his station.
You know why he didn't want to be king though? At least this is how I see it. I don't think he wanted to be king because he already had all this power and he basically was controlling and threatening the king to do what he wanted. But if he was king, then he would have taken all the blame and he would have gotten all the hate from the citizens.
That's true. Then people could overthrow him too.
Yes. And then having the king there, the king was getting blamed for all the uselessness, but he didn't have any power. The VP held all the power.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, then the king abdicates his throne because he don't like to be king.
He was gonna kill the crown princess.
Oh, that's true.
And the brother, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I guess he ends up not doing it.
Yeah.
Because we like end with the vice premier dying, and then it says 1 year later.
Yeah, Dio was rejected because
Hong Shim
feels bad that her brother calls everything.
Yes.
So we have another healer situation going on.
I cannot. It was so dumb.
It was dumb. So after a year, Hong Shim has her title restored, so she's a noblewoman again technically, but she's still living in her same house.
Yes.
And they probably upgraded it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she is wearing nicer clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Her friend who was in the village helping her and stuff is now pregnant.
Yep.
And then her husband owns the VP's son now.
Yeah. And they keep him in the house. He's under house arrest.
Oh wow.
So it's great. And then the crown princess is off in the woods somewhere.
Yeah, because they faked her death.
Mm-hmm.
They said that she committed suicide because I guess the king felt bad about killing her.
I don't think Dio let him.
Yeah, I don't think
because the baby belonged to Hong Shim's brother.
So it's
basically Hong Shim's.
It's Hong Shim's nephew. Blood. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they're off living
in the woods, and that baby was quite cute.
It was indeed.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like the same baby that they used in Hwayugi, but it's probably not.
There was a baby in Hwayugi?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the one that came out temporarily, like
Yeah,
the last
and they were
few
like, "Are you
episodes.
sure this isn't your baby, Sonomo?"
Yeah. No, they said that that baby was the
It was
the
a baby
Samjang.
that hadn't been born yet.
Weird.
Yeah.
Carry on,
Anyways.
though.
Yeah. So Hong Shim is still in the village. Dio's
She's still running errands for people.
yeah. She has a sign now.
Yeah,
A
like a
whole ass
legit
sign.
sign,
Mhm.
not just a paper.
She's registered her business.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy who was like the secretary of the town, he became the
He was a
mayor or the he was a clerk. He became
He
took
became the magistrate.
yeah
Yes.
he took Jae-yoon's spot.
And he made the old magistrate who worked
He
with the
wasn't a
VP.
magistrate.
Yeah, he was. He was a magistrate before
He was
what's
a
his
lord.
face went there.
He was a retired something.
Yeah, but he was also acting as the magistrate because nobody else was.
Huh?
Yeah, the one with the dog, you know.
No.
He was just a
acting as a
lord, and he
magistrate.
used to be a retired
the clerk
like
was.
dude.
Acting as the magistrate.
Yeah.
Before Jaeyoon came, because he was complaining about how he has to do everything when the magistrate isn't there.
Mm.
Yeah.
But that
Oh,
other
okay.
dude is just a retired
Dude.
lord dude.
Yeah, well, he becomes
A slave.
yeah.
Yep, because he was like helping the VP out.
Yes.
That
And-
dog of his though.
That dog was so useless. It wasn't his, it was borrowed.
Oh yeah, he was holding
he
it.
was dog sitting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So then the king is trying to have Dio married. He sends a bunch. He
Because
sends all.
Dio's a bachelor now.
Yeah, he sent a bunch of noble women.
What
and
does
then,
Jaeyoon do now?
He's still the librarian.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
he sent a bunch of noble women to him, and then a bunch of
Oh, court
He's starting
lady.
yeah
sending
court
court
ladies.
And Dio's like, what the hell?
Yeah, until then he abdicates the throne, and before
The
he
king
does
does.
that,
He orders.
he
everyone.
orders all the single people to get married
Yeah,
again.
not just the like village people, everybody.
Yeah,
so
everybody.
Dio has to too.
Mm.
But then Jaeyoon is like, I'm gonna take this opportunity to go marry Hong Shim.
Yeah, he leaves
'Cause he's
Dio a letter.
bachelor too.
He leaves
Yeah.
Dio a letter, and
But he's not doing it for real. He's doing it to get Dio out there.
yeah,
So
And-
he was like a chill second lead who was like accepting when he was rejected, not like
Yeah.
the other useless ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and so
Quite
they
nice.
they get Dio out there, and he tries to marry Hong Shim again, except she rejects him again.
Yep.
And so then he's like, fine. And he's like, can you do me, I need your help, finding my
Yeah.
book back that I,
No, it was
some
a book
books.
sack.
his book sack that he misplaced. Yeah, and so then she finds it, and it's basically his journals where he's like being
Talking,
all mopey and
yeah.
depressive about how he misses Hong Shim and all this and how it's the only woman he's ever loved.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, until then she like goes after him, and then she doesn't find him, but they tell her that the Crown Prince has left. And then she goes back to her house all deflated.
Yeah.
And
So expressive.
Wow.
and then Dio shows up, and she's like, I thought you had left. And he's like, the Crown Prince left, but one doggy didn't.
Wow.
And so then he proposes to
Their
her.
chingus have made a bunch. Well, they made that lord dude with the dog make a bunch of paper petals.
Yeah.
Because their thing was that when he proposed to her when they were children, the cherry blossoms were spewing their flowers.
Yeah.
And so he was like, are these petals or are they snow?
Yeah.
And or no, she asked him, do
If-
you love snow or do you love petals more? And he said he loved her more.
Do you like? But yeah.
Yep.
And then he's like, I like you. And then he's like, I'm gonna marry you.
Yep.
And then he proposes, and then nothing happened. That's it.
Yeah, well,
It
we're
ends.
to assume that they did get together
Oh,
because they
we
did
don't know
kiss.
that.
It would have been
We don't
better
know
if we had
that.
got to see what
No, we
happens
don't.
after
We're just
that, though.
assuming.
I would have liked to at least have seen their royal wedding.
Right? It would have probably been
I didn't
fancy.
need
It
to see a
would've.
royal wedding, but
It
you
would have
know.
probably been fancy.
'Cause
It would have
everything
been
ends with
fancy.
weddings.
I just wanted to see how it was back then. The
I
royal
like the decorative
weddings.
chickens they had, though.
They
Oh,
did show a
yes.
wedding.
But it wasn't royal.
It was a
Wow.
commoner wedding.
It was.
You're right.
When Hong Shim
Imagine
and
the decorative chickens of the royal wedding. They
Those
probably
they
would have
probably
had
had
little.
decorative
Yeah, they
chickens.
probably would have had little crowns or
Wow.
little hats or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, they had
Oh,
a decorative chickens. They were in sacks.
Yeah,
It
so
was
they
great.
wouldn't fly away.
Mm-hmm.
fabulous.
I wonder if they eat those chickens after that.
Probably. Why would they
Maybe.
waste perfectly good chickens
Mhm,
unless
for egg
they're
hatching?
they're egg laying chickens?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyways, yeah.
Yes. So the vice premier sucked.
He was complete asshole, but I
he was
appreciated
pretty
how smart
smart.
he was. Mm-hmm.
He was
Yeah.
always like a step ahead already.
He was very meticulous.
It was very frustrating.
I was impressed.
Same.
And
Yeah.
then once Valerie told me he was the same evil dude from Save Me, I was like, oh my god.
I didn't realize that.
I go.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
did. I was like, he looks
I
familiar,
haven't
but
even
Yeah.
I
watched that
figure it out.
drama.
It's because he has like white hair in
Yeah,
that one.
he's like pretending to be albino in the other one.
Yeah. No, he's
Wow.
Jesus.
So you're right.
Oh
He
my
probably doesn't
Jesus.
poop.
What? I can't with you. Oh my
No,
Jesus.
that's why he's so healthy.
Because he can't
The
poop.
constipation.
No. So he wasn't very sympathetic. He was useless.
Mhm.
We like the sympathetic evil people.
Mhm.
I thought that Oravoni was pretty complex. His storyline was pretty complex
I would have
because,
seen more. I would have liked to see more.
same.
It was just like, eh.
Yeah.
Both him and the Crown Princess. The
Yeah.
Crown Princess was just kind of there, but I feel like we should have gotten a little bit more backstory on
I
them.
think this is the
Mhm.
first time I see a drama where the Crown Princess isn't like trying to get with Dio with the Crown Prince.
Yeah.
She has her own
Mhm.
like separate
Yeah.
love
Yeah,
story.
Yeah. Well, and I
So that
think
was
part of it
cool.
was because she was like, yeah, Dio doesn't love me, so moving on.
She
Mm.
wasn't like she wasn't dumb.
Yeah.
Yes. She had
True.
nice hands.
Wow. And then I thought it was also interesting that Dio at some point said that that being the Crown Prince was very lonely. Like he was
Yes.
really lonely. And I was like, I could see that being the case because
Oh,
you know,
It
you
was
can't
so
really have friends because they could
Backstab you.
they
Yeah.
could backstab you, or they might be scared that they would like become a target for other people as well.
Or they just might be after friendship for position powers.
True.
Oh.
It was so sad when the Liberian man said that they couldn't be friends anymore because he was the Crown Prince. I was
Right.
like, no.
Their romancing came crashing down before.
I
it
mean,
even
not really.
started.
They were still bros.
I was like, poor Dio, all alone,
And then when
with
he,
only the hallucination of Hong Shim.
Wow.
when he went back up to the mountains and to recall what happened, and he remembered his old bro.
Yes, I was like,
That
no.
was so
I
sad.
know. That I was so sad for that bro the whole time because I
Right.
was like, nobody's even mourning him.
I know. And then there's the little montage when they had the funeral for him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh.
So sad.
And it showed them as children.
Yep.
Oh.
And we forgot to go back to Eunuch Yang.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
So
So the reason
the
why.
whole like reason they're able to find the whatchamacallit,
They start looking for the journal.
the diary is because Eunuch Young has not died. He's recovered. He can't speak at the time, but he's able to write to them like stuff, and so he tells them about the princess because Dio still hasn't remembered that part yet.
I don't think he tells her about the princess. He tells him that.
Or is it about the vice premier?
Yeah, it was about the,
yeah.
the VP.
It was the...
And then he tells them that the journal's or diary's name is Silence.
And so then they try to look for
yeah. So yeah, but before we knew he was alive, I was like, oh my gosh, they killed his closest people. I was like, they don't play. They don't play.
That dude was just out to kill everyone.
Right? Murder indeed. But anyways. Oh, and the king, when he said he was abdicating the throne, because the queen was starting some nonsense again, and he was like, I'm so sorry I've neglected you. I'm gonna abdicate the throne. Let's go hang out, man.
Yeah, you usually don't see that. I feel like in the historical dramas that I've seen, at least, the king and the queen hate each other.
Yeah, that's true, because, you know, kings be having concubines.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was cool.
He's gonna retire away with the queen.
He's retiring early. He doesn't even have them white hairs.
Nope. He probably dies.
But he was saying that he was always fearful being on the throne because the VP was powerful.
Yup.
And
I'm surprised he's still alive. Hasn't died. Hasn't died of like stress.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it helped to get rid of the VP.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he said that Dio had that strength and power he needed to be the king.
And that's why he clashed with the VP.
Yep.
Because they were the same.
Yeah.
I think that they should have made Jaeyoon a premier dude, one of those people. What are they?
What?
Advisors.
Well, he was back there. But he was in a blue gown.
Though.
Yeah.
I don't know what the blue gown dudes are.
They're like the
little scholar
dudes.
Yeah.
Scholarly people.
It's because he was the son of a concubine. That's why.
I'm sure he'll get promoted once Dio becomes king.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Hong Shim. Hong Shim and Dio were cute together.
Yes, they were.
Yes. I don't think I've seen Nam Ji-hyun in anything except she had a little tiny appearance into The Beautiful You, which I didn't remember until now. So, yeah, she was good. I tend to be skeptical of people that are overhyped because sometimes they're just overhyped because they're hot.
I saw Nam Ji-hyun in that Suspicious Partner drama.
Oh, you watched that?
Yeah.
Isn't that the one she's in with Ji Chang-wook?
Park Bong-soo!
That's on the list.
I believe that's the only thing I saw her in.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen her in anything else.
Yeah.
So I was surprised at how good she was.
Wow.
I like Dio's character a lot in this.
Same.
Yeah.
He was quite charming.
Dio is charming as like in real life too.
He's buying really hard.
Well,
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah. After watching this,
don't you know?
You're right.
I don't believe you.
Well, I don't know if it had changed.
It might if I continue watching Dio.
Dio was my first bias wrecker.
Who's your bias?
My first bias was Chanyeol. Did you not read my whole thing about this?
No.
My first bias in EXO was Chanyeol.
I do know that it was Chanyeol.
Dio bias wrecked him, then Chen bias wrecked Dio.
Okay.
And then
wait, who's your bias then?
Chen?
It switches.
I don't even have a bias
people
anymore.
Anyways, What were we saying? Oh yeah, we were
Dio.
talking about Dio and Hong Shim. Yeah.
He's a charming boy.
Yeah. I mean,
Great.
I would have liked a little bit more character development with our leads, because I feel like there was more character development, for example, with like Oraboni and really just him. Everyone else just kind of stayed the same character-wise. I guess Dio learned to not be so snooty.
Snooty.
That's what they kept calling him that.
That never once came out in
Yeah,
the
I
Baking
think
That's what they called him.
They called
in
him.
the
What did they
Netflix
call
one.
him?
They just called him rude.
Yeah.
Well, they called him rude too, but then they said that he acted snooty. So like I guess he like learned to appreciate the joys in life, the simple things. Hong Shim stayed the same pretty much all the way through, so
Yeah.
that was one of my like issues with it. But I did like all the little side characters too. They were
Yes.
silly.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, Hong Shim's dad was cool too.
Yeah.
And then Sono or Jaeyoon, that's a character's name. He was cool too.
Yeah.
He was funny.
He reminded me of the secretary from Kill Me. Because he has similar mouth movements as him.
Okay.
Yeah, when I saw
Did
him, I
not
was like, oh.
remind me of that.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about our ratings?
Oh, we gotta mention our favorite parts first.
Oh, yes.
People always forget favorite.
Well, I was gonna do favorite parts after and like close out with our favorite parts, but we'll talk about them now.
Think of rating as a final thing.
Well, let's talk about our favorite parts then.
I don't know what my favorite part was.
I liked when they stole that dude's dog that he was sitting. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was
Freaking
funny.
dog.
Yeah. Whenever Dio had to do any manual labor and he sucked at it.
Yeah, that was funny. I also liked how Dio would get jealous.
Yes, that was pretty funny too.
Yeah. I liked all the Hong Shim and Dio parts.
Yeah, those were pretty good too.
Whenever Dio would be like, "Ji금 naman pulpionranga." Is that how
He's
you
not an
say it?
idiot anymore?
No.
Am I the only one who's uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Then
Yeah.
Yes, he was good.
the fight scenes were pretty good.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Especially when Dio goes like,
scenes-
whoa.
I like whenever
He
there's
strikes back.
Wow, I can't believe you just did that.
It's okay. Nothing happened.
I like whenever there's fight scenes where it's the like fancy people fighting because their like
Their
clothes
robes,
go all like
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
thinking
very
that the other day.
swoopy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Also, that one part where Hong Shim and Wonduk got wrapped up in that mat.
That was so useless.
And they had to roll out, and then after
There was
that,
a rat.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like, "What do you mean we're okay? I committed murder."
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
because he squished the rat.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
That was great.
Mhm.
Oh my Jesus! There was also the part where Hong Shim and her chingus were gonna go make
beggars.
a distraction.
Yeah.
Make a distraction.
Yeah.
And so they dressed up like beggars, and they all dressed up like really ugly. They
Yeah.
painted their faces and stuff. They had like big
It was
moles
great.
on them.
It was great.
Yup. They were practicing like this one song.
And whenever the brother came out, he was pretty useless too. Like the VP son, not the brother,
Oh.
the VP son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was pretty useless. I can't with him. Yeah. That's it. Those were my favorite parts.
Great
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Barry, you didn't say why you suggested this drama.
Because Dio's in it.
Well, it was great.
Yes.
Also, Dio.
Yes.
And also, I thought long and hard about which drama we should watch to introduce the saga dramas.
Yes.
And I was gonna put the Scarlet Heart drama first because that was the first one I watched.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I
I
was
thought
like-
you were gonna do Moonlight Drawn by Clouds.
No, Scarlet Heart drama was the first one I watched.
Mm.
But then I was like Dio, and I like this
Dio.
one better.
Gio!
Cute.
Well, you didn't even finish Scarlet Heart.
What are you talking about?
It's okay. I
You won't
didn't
talk
even
about
watch it.
We'll
can't
watch about
believe
that
it.
when we get to it.
We'll watch about
We'll
it.
talk
We'll
about
watch
that when we watch it.
Wow,
What is
okay.
wrong with us? We can't speak this
I
year.
guess
No.
not. Let's do our ratings then.
Oh,
you
this
go
is
first,
this
Valerie.
is coming out right on for Dio to return from the military.
Yes, Dio is
Hey.
back.
No, he's not back yet. He's coming.
He's better than
He's
ever.
basically back.
He's he's
Has his hair
basically
grown back?
No.
I mean, I don't know because he's wearing his little hats.
Huh.
But he's technically been out already because he's on his final break and he's not returning to the base. But he's gonna be officially out on the 25th.
Dio!
Dio.
What's his next project that they said he's already accepted?
It's this movie called The Moon.
The Moon?
Yes.
Mm.
And Along with the Gods Part 3 and maybe 4.
Fabulous.
Mhm.
He should be in another drama.
He should.
We also need a Dio solo in 2021.
Mm.
On to the rating.
Yeah. Who's going first?
Doesn't
You
matter.
start Battery. You
Okay. Well, for watchability, I gave it a 10 because it was pretty fast to get through.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't get boring.
Mm.
All that stuff going on, man.
You right.
Then for plot and story, I said 9
Mm-hmm.
because of those, that the end felt kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah.
They could have finished that up a little more. Then the character and performance, I said 10. Everyone was great. And sound design and OST, I said 9.5. Chen sang an OST for this, in case you didn't know.
He did, and we
It
got a
was great.
fabulous. We got one scene where we got just a close up of Dio's face because Hong Shim is like holding his face, and for some reason she likes his thick eyebrows.
She likes them hairy.
Yep, and during that scene we get Chen's OST, so we got Dio visuals and Chen vocals.
It was
Hey.
usually Chen's OST when they were
No, for a time it was a lady singing an OST.
gummy.
Was it Gummy? Yeah, it was Gummy.
Gummy always be singing them OSTs.
You know it's good when Gummy sings an OST.
I wonder if there's been any drama that Jo Jung Suk has been in with Gummy OST.
Those of you who don't know, Jo Jung Suk and Gummy are married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They now have a child.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Anyways, cinematography and visuals. Oh, for the sound design and OST, I also liked all the instrumental songs.
Yes.
Those are always great in historical dramas. Anyways, cinematography and visuals, I said 10. Everything was pretty. The higher, up people's handbooks were very nice. Yeah, so my total was 7. No, not 7.
Wow.
9.7.
Nice.
Yes.
Still can't with you people and your weird numbers. So for watchability, I also gave it a 10. I got through it pretty quickly because it was so good. For plot and story, I gave it a 9.5 because that ending was so anticlimactic. And climactic. Whatever. And I wanted to see more of the Oraboni story. And like I said, I wanted more character development for our leads. For character / performance, I gave it a 10.
Yes.
For OST/sound design, I gave it a 9.5 for the same reasons Valerie mentioned. It was no, unmyeon, but even though there was unmyeon in this,
Wow.
anyways, cinematography/visuals, I gave it a 9.5. It's not a 10 only because like they weren't consistent with like their visual style. Like sometimes they would have it be like highly saturated and everything looked really pretty because of it, and then they would like switch to like a normal saturation, or it would be the other way around. Like it would just look normal and then all of a sudden you'd get this like pop of color for no apparent reason. And I wish they would have just kept the high saturation throughout and made that like a stylistic choice. And so my overall was a 9.5. So now it's tied with Full House. And those of you that have been listening for a while know that is my favorite K-drama of all time.
Hey.
Yeah!
That's how great this one is.
Indeed. Benner,
It's,
what do you gotta say?
It's the drama that brought all the Ajima fans to Dio.
Really? Wow.
So for watchability, I gave it a 10 because I got through it pretty quick, which I was surprised about because I think the reason why I stopped watching historical dramas was because the last one I watched was super slow. It literally took me months to finish watching it. I don't even remember what it was called. I think Painter of the Wind or something. But yeah, it was super slow. I was like, yeah. But so I gave this one a 10, and then for the plot/story, I gave it an 8. Didn't like the ending. I really wanted to see a royal wedding at least.
Wow.
And then
we'll get to see a royal wedding in another one.
Yeah. And then
there's bound to be one with a royal wedding.
Hopefully.
I also wanted more with the Oraboni. I wanted more of his story.
Yeah, we barely got to see.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Like of the story with him and the crown princess. I feel like it was kind of rushed.
Yeah, glossed over it.
Yeah.
They were like,
all
well,
we got was a dandelion.
We
Yeah.
did get a dandelion. Must be the last one this season.
Oh my Jesus! You just made something that sounded super fancy sound like really hillbilly, really hick. I can't with you people.
It's great. It's from that one
Anyways.
TikTok.
Oh, okay.
But it's referencing the Ice Age.
Oh, I can't.
Anyways, for character/performance, I gave it a 10. I thought everyone did a pretty good job. And then the OST/sound design, I gave that a 10 too. I really liked the instrumentals in this drama. It was pretty great.
Yup.
I feel like some of them reminded me of like Disney songs. So
I think
was
there was
good.
only
Like
one
Disney
that
music. There was
reminded me of
one that
that.
reminded me of it specifically.
Disney music.
Yeah, Disney
It was
music.
I
like the
never
one
got
that went
Disney music.
Yeah. I don't know, but the one that I heard, it reminded me of like Lady and the Tramp. Like the first movie that came to mind when I heard it was Lady and the Tramp.
I can't believe you.
Yeah. Anyways, then for cinematography/visuals, I gave that a 10 as well. Yeah. Everything was fancy. And so my overall rating for this drama was a 9.5.
Nice.
I think this is like my second highest rated drama.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say hell yeah.
Same. Then you changed. And I was like, what?
did.
That's not what I was gonna say.
Wow.
But do you guys have anything else to say about it?
Dio was great.
Dio. Stand Dio.
Dio was great. Anyways, then I guess that's it for 100 Days, My Prince. Join us next time for another K-drama review. In the meantime, follow us on Instagram at Kdrama_weekly, on Twitter at Kdrama_weekly, find us on Facebook at Kdrama Weekly Podcast, and email us at kdramaweeklypodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can also visit our website, kdramaweeklypodcast.com, where you can find all of our podcast episodes as well as some blog posts.
Hey!
Yeah! You can also see our mini reviews over on our YouTube channel, K-Drama Weekly, and if you prefer to watch us doing the podcast, you can also see a video of our podcast episodes on YouTube as well.
You know how the Sono character had the face blindness?
Yeah.
And he said that the reason he liked Hong Shim was because he could distinguish her eyes and her lips.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my Jesus, so does he see her like that one thing that people do where it's an eye emoji, then the lips, and then another eye emoji?
Oh my God. Yes, he does. That's great.
Hello? Hey. Hello? Oh. Wow.
We have a ghost.
It's Tedmond.
Wow.
But where